What's up guys, Houndish here, and today we've got some Destiny 2 news in the form of This Week at Bungie. And so naturally they speak about Festival of the Lost, and Bungie again recognise some of the issues at launch, plus they break down some rewards, and talk about an update that we're going to see in the game next week. That'll be a hotfix to kind of address a few more issues, but then they talk about some weapons that'll be leaving loot pools in Season 19. That's definitely worth taking note of in the final few weeks of this season. They also tease Legacy focusing as a weapon option for Season 20, so it looks like we'll have more ways to acquire older gear in the game. Then additionally today, there have been some supposed leaks, some rumours, about Bungie's next game, and according to those rumours, Bungie will be returning to an older franchise of theirs, with a new FPS looter title. And so we're going to talk about all of it in the video, guys. As always, I hope you enjoy this one, but without further delay, let's get into it. The first thing to note from the TWAB, they say so long and thanks for all the weapon streaks. All good things must come to an end. Sure, that end is temporary for the loot pool rotations, but here's the heads up of what's leaving the loot pool for next season, so you can get in there and give it your all for that special pew-pew goodness before they are gone. And so immediately leaving loot pools in Season 19 for the Iron Banner, the Forge's Pledge Pulse Rifle, and Reese Walker Shotgun. Bear in mind typically, Bungie will introduce new weapons in place of these. But for Trials of Osiris, Aisha's Embrace, the Scout Rifle, as well as the Reed's Regret Linear Fusion Rifle are going to be going away. And then for Nightfalls, the Silicon Neuroma Sniper and the Duty Bound Auto Rifle will no longer drop. And so obviously if you want any of those weapons, if you're after specific roles or you haven't picked them up yet, the season we're in right now is going to be the final season, at least for a little while, where the weapons are obtainable. And of course, Season 18 will end in early December, so certainly bear it in mind, and Bungie finished by saying closer to next season, we'll be sharing more insight into rewards and what players can expect over the coming months, but we also wanted to take a small moment to tease something we're excited about. And for Season 20, we're going to be introducing Legacy focusing, and while we're not quite ready to share details about that yet, it's one of the many aspects of the game that players will learn more about when we're closer to Lightfall and beyond. And so it will be interesting to see exactly what a loot pool for Legacy focusing could look like. I assume it's probably going to focus on random rolled weapons, stuff that we've had in the past couple of years. But with Bungie talking about these specific playlists right here, it could potentially be a pool of previous Nightfall weapons, event playlist weapons, or even seasonal stuff. But that'll be something to look forward to in Season 20 alongside Lightfall. So share your thoughts about any of that down below. And here are a couple of bugs and issues. Bungie say they've detected a problem where the weekly bounties from Eva Levante are only giving out 100 Bright Dust instead of the usual 200. And we've implemented a fix for bounties that haven't been turned in, but players already affected by the issue will receive any missing Bright Dust at a later date. They also point out again that Lord of Wolves has been disabled due to an issue where it can apply more damage than intended, but they're targeting next week's hotfix to release the update and get that re-enabled. As for exactly what else will be in that hotfix, we're not certain just yet. There was also an issue this week where a change to rangefinder that was supposed to be in this week's patch didn't work, and so maybe we'll get that next week, but they say next Tuesday, October 25th, update 6251 will be released, and that'll begin rolling out exactly at the reset time, 10 AM Pacific, which is 6 PM in the UK, with a small 15-minute downtime period before that. I'll keep you posted with that update as always. And related to Festival of the Lost, they say they recognise the launch day hiccups with Festival of the Lost, and we want to take a moment to say that we're taking the feedback seriously and are appreciative of the players that have respectfully offered their time to help make a good game even better by sharing their thoughts on how the event feels. And of course there was that major bug with the quest at the start of the event. And there is general feedback about seasonal events, how valuable the gameplay is versus the cosmetic side, reusing activities, lack of updates to activities and things like that. So there is some recognition of that feedback, and again, in terms of fixing stuff this year, we'll see if there are any other changes in the patch next week. They point out the new items we can obtain though, the legendary sniper rifle, Macabre, the community chosen mech themed armor set, and the event card, including a new emote, ship, exotic ghost, and more. But they say there are some fun real-world challenges they'd like to offer, and so calling all artists, including cosplayers, fiber, digital, and pretty much any format, they say make what inspires you, related to Festival of the Lost specifically of course, and they say make sure that you add the right hashtag and the @ to the official Destiny 2 social channel for your region. And for cool creations, they'll be giving out some sweet prizes. And there are a bunch of hashtags that they feature in the TWAB as well, that you may want to apply to any bits of content you decide to share. They say they'll be featuring submissions in every TWAB during the event, and if an official account shares your work, you'll automatically be qualified for a particularly festive cosmetic, with the Halloween coronation emblem. emblem. Pretty cool one there. So more details for that are in the TWAB, as well as some Destiny stencils if you fancy carving any pumpkins this year. There's a cool Taken King icon, element icons and more that you can download the stencils for via the TWAB, so that is linked below. The final thing which I think is worth mentioning right here comes from insidergaming.com. And separate to the TWAB today, according to this article, Bungie are set to revive the Marathon series in a new way. And so this appears to be some kind of a leak. And what the article says is that according to sources, Bungie is set to bring back the Marathon series with a new game that will be a 3-man squad extraction-based shooter. The title is currently in a pre-alpha state, sources said, but it could be announced at any point given the industry's competition for talent. And the article also says that Marathon takes place on a planet that was previously home to a human colony that vanished, with humans using highly customizable cyborgs called runners in order to gather loot. It's understood that the gameplay loop for Marathon is similar to most extraction-based shooters, in that we choose a mission, buy and choose the loadout, and then drop into the map and hunt for the loot, completing missions and then extracting safely. It also adds that like other extraction-based shooters, it's understood that you lose all of your loot if you're unfortunate enough to die, and that the game is intended to be the ultimate example of a living game. Seasonal rewards and progression will be a huge part of it, and they say that isn't surprising considering Bungie's success with Destiny. And they point out that this would be the first non-Destiny title the studio has developed in over a decade. And the original Marathon was released in 1994, with 2 sequels to the title coming in 95 and 96. And they also highlight that in 2019, CEO Pete Parsons suggested in an interview that the studio would have a new game by 2025. And so, some pretty interesting news right there. Of course, in terms of sources, with this being a supposed leak, other than what the article is saying, it's very difficult to verify whether it's true at the moment. But I think the revival of an older Bungie franchise isn't necessarily something that a lot of players expect to hear about. Whether this could potentially be related to the Matter title that Bungie trademarked a couple of years back also isn't clear yet, as separate to this there have been various rumours about upcoming mobile games, and Bungie themselves have outlined that they want to be a multi-franchise studio by 2025. And so it's a highly intriguing possibility. I'll link the article down below. I'm sure there are some folks who remember the original Marathon games, although for a lot of us here on the channel, we were either very, very young or hadn't even been born at the time that those games came out. Either way, it's very exciting, and we'll have to see if any additional details roll out in the future. But give us your thoughts in the comment section, guys, and if you've enjoyed the video overall today, a rating down below really does help us out on the channel. If you want to see more Destiny content, then be sure to get subscribed as well. But otherwise for today, thank you as always for tuning in, and I'll catch you all very soon.